Chapter 1 of the Bhagavad Gita, titled Arjuna Vishada Yoga, or the Yoga of Arjuna's Dejection, sets the stage for the epic dialogue between Prince Arjuna and Lord Krishna. The chapter comprises 47 verses that describe the preparation for the great battle of Kurukshetra, the initial observations of Arjuna, and his deep moral and emotional turmoil. This chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is crucial as it vividly portrays the human emotions and moral dilemmas faced by Arjuna, a representative of every individual caught in a conflict between duty and emotion. Arjuna's initial confidence gives way to despair as he confronts the reality of fighting his own family. His physical symptoms of distress symbolize the profound inner conflict that paralyzes him. Arjuna's moral and ethical concerns highlight the complexity of dharma, righteousness, in the context of war. His reluctance to engage in violence despite being a warrior by duty underscores the universal struggle between adhering to one's duty and the emotional ties that bind us. This chapter sets the foundation for the philosophical discourse that follows, as Krishna addresses these very concerns and guides Arjuna towards a higher understanding of duty, life, and spirituality. Verse 1. Dhritarashtra's inquiry. Dhritarashtra, the blind king, asks his charioteer Sanjaya about the events on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. This verse underscores his anxiety and sets the scene for the narrative. Verses 2-11, Duryodhana's assessment. Sanjaya narrates the events, starting with Duryodhana, the Kaurava prince, approaching his teacher Dronakarya. Duryodhana's observations reveal his strategic concerns and the formidable nature of the Pandava army, led by distinguished warriors like Bhima and Arjuna. He lists the prominent fighters on both sides and emphasizes the strength and preparedness of his own forces, particularly highlighting Bhishma's pivotal role. Verses 12-19, the sound of conch shells. The blowing of conch shells by Bhishma and the warriors on both sides signifies the commencement of the battle. This tumultuous sound symbolizes the gravity of the conflict and the readiness of the combatants. The descriptions of the conch shells and their distinct sounds convey the intense atmosphere on the battlefield. Verses 20-27, Arjuna's request and observations. Arjuna, with Lord Krishna as his charioteer, asks Krishna to position their chariot between the two armies so he can see those assembled to fight. As he surveys the battlefield, Arjuna recognizes his relatives, teachers, and friends among the enemy ranks. This sight overwhelms him with compassion and sorrow, leading to a profound internal conflict. Verses 28-30, Arjuna's emotional turmoil. Arjuna expresses his deep distress to Krishna, describing physical symptoms of his emotional turmoil: trembling limbs, dry mouth, shivering body, and a disturbed mind. His bow, Gandiva, slips from his hand, and his skin burns, signifying his inner crisis and intense fear. Verses 31-34, Arjuna's moral dilemma. Arjuna questions the value of the battle, considering the inevitable destruction of his kin. He contemplates the futility of seeking victory, kingdom, and pleasures when it involves killing his own family members. This realization leads him to question the righteousness of the war and its implications on his moral and spiritual duties. Verses 35-37, the consequences of war. Arjuna reflects on the catastrophic consequences of the war, particularly the destruction of family traditions and the resulting social and moral degradation. He foresees a future where the collapse of familial structures leads to irreligion and the corruption of women, causing societal decay and hellish existence for the families involved. Verses 38-43, the preservation of family values. Arjuna emphasizes the importance of maintaining family values and traditions. He argues that even though the Kauravas are blinded by greed and do not see the evil in destroying families, he, being aware of these consequences, cannot justify the war. He expresses his belief that those who destroy family traditions dwell in hell and face severe spiritual repercussions. Verses 44-47, Arjuna's resolve. Arjuna's despondency reaches its peak as he resolves not to fight, even if it means being killed unarmed and unresisting. He considers this a lesser evil compared to participating in the wholesale slaughter of his kin. Sanjaya concludes the chapter by describing Arjuna's state of grief and confusion, setting the stage for Krishna's teachings. Thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe my channel for more videos.